How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. My guest today is actor and comedian Hilary Henderson.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Long day. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I didn't work today, so it's been nice.
Nice.
Try to record these on my days off, so it doesn't really. But sometimes you get those days where you have to. Well, I'm sure you know, working and doing stand-up. So, right out the gate, I'm curious. We almost talked about it, when you first got here, and I didn't want to. When did you start stand-up?
I'm really new to stand-up. I only started doing stand-up, properly last fall. But I've done, performance and acting and improv, I don't know, as long as I can remember, since I was, maybe 6 years old.
Okay.
But I didn't actually get properly into, performing stand-up and writing stand-up, because it is, a distinct art form. I think we can call it an art form. It is.
I definitely think we can call it that.
Yeah, but kind of October, September of last year is when I really, sunk my teeth in it and started doing it.
So under a year we're talking.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
4 or 5 months, yeah.
That's awesome, because you're we met a few months ago, and, right out the gate, I'm the kind of person, I just like good people, and we just so happen to sit next to each other.
Yeah.
And so, you left a really good first impression even before you got on stage, and then you were really good, and because Brendan's been doing it for a long time. Yeah, and we were at his show. And so I was just unsure of how long you've been doing it, but I definitely think for the amount of time you've been doing it, fucking amazing.
Thank you.
You're enjoying it, though?
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I should say, even before I did stand-up, I'm such a nerd that I was I'm not going to do something unless I know I can be, good at it or have the potential to be good at it. So,
or you want to, you like it enough to want to be good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Before I did stand-up, actually, the first time I did stand-up in Toronto, I was on a Tinder date. That's another story. But I had read multiple books on stand-up before. I had taken a stand-up class.
Yeah.
I had, I had gone to so many stand-up shows. So it was, I felt pretty confident that I could be decent-ish at it before I even started doing it, because I was I would never get up. Some people just get up there and they're just oh, I'm just gonna try this tonight.
So you said you started acting and improv. What came first, the improv or the acting? Was it acting, improv, and then kind of comedy?
Yeah, that's pretty much the trajectory. Yeah, I did a lot of community, and I'm a good Christian girl, so I grew up in church. I did theater and performance in church and in school, and community theater. And then when I was in high school, I was on a competitive improv team.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, actually. Nobody asked me to the prom, shockingly. But so then doing more improv, and then I was in a university. I didn't really do that much creative stuff, but I kind of had a mental breakdown last summer that I was I need to do something creative again, and so I was I'm just gonna do stand-up.
Oh, you know how many people, me myself included, just a series of bad things led me to comedy.
Yeah, no one mentally well does this. Just
not
clear.
Good. No. You're not, it's very rare you're coming across someone who was brought up well and just has good parents, didn't struggle. A comedian without struggle is a comedian without struggle.
That's
yeah. It's
not funny.
I don't know. My foster dad actually told me, I was raised in foster homes. You might not know.
I did not know, yeah.
Yeah, and he was trying to convince me to do motivational speaking. And I'm not completely against it, because when I was in high school, those kind of assemblies were always the funnest part of your week. If you had something like that. I actually remember Second City coming to my high school at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did something about drugs.
Okay.
I don't know.
And
Yeah,
I'll have
I feel
some
like
things.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How do you pick, at Second City, how do you, you're trying to get, a group to go out, and they, do improv, probably, because they brought people up from, the crowd, and just, how do you even pitch that?
Right.
Okay, we definitely have to talk about something, and so I think drugs was just, the easiest thing.
Kids like drugs, let's talk about drugs, I don't know. But, no, it's cool. I feel motivational speaker, I think I did an open mic in Kensington Market
Mm-hmm.
outside during the daytime on a Sunday during the
Okay.
last lockdown. And I think that's how I started. Like, I was like, oh, sun's out. Like, I feel like I'm a motivational speaker. Like, I'm giving a TED Talk. Like, there's a fine line between, like, stand-up and, like, I guess most people who do TED Talks and that, they usually have some sort of credentials or expertise in, like, what they're speaking about.
It's odd. I feel like Chappelle is kind of like,
Yeah.
he can walk that line
Totally.
very, very well.
Yeah.
You know, where like one of his specials, I don't think it was a Netflix one. It was, what was it called? It was a time. It was something like 8:36 or something like that. It was like a half-hour special.
Yeah,
and there
yeah.
was like, I mean, really,
That was the one
there
right
was
after-
some humor in it, and there was a
Yeah.
few jokes, but most of it was just him talking about serious issues.
Was that the one right after the death of George Floyd?
Yes.
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 I've seen, I can't remember the name of it. It was 8 minutes. It was however long the police officer stood on George Floyd's neck.
Yeah.
I should know the number, but I don't remember it. But yeah. No, that was a good one. That was a good
It was
'cause,
good,
like,
and it wasn't very, like, it's not very comedy-ish. It's not a comedy, you know?
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
don't think it's a stand-up special, but I enjoyed it as much as I enjoy, you know, his funnier things.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
weird, you know?
For
No, I
sure.
don't think everybody could present it that way.
That's so true. Yeah.
You know? Do you know who Henry Rollins is?
I don't know.
Okay, he's like in Black Flag, a bunch of like punk bands and stuff like that, and he was like the vocalist for these bands for a bit, like back in like the 80s and that maybe even earlier. And since he stopped doing music, he's been doing like tours where he just, I wouldn't say it's motivational speaking, but he just tells stories, and he's lived such an interesting life that you could just listen to him talk for 3 hours.
Right on. Okay.
You
yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
I have 2-hour episodes, but I don't blame anybody if they don't go through 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's like a lot to ask of people, I feel, especially in the age of like TikTok, where it's like
Yeah.
my attention span is 7 seconds. Like, to hold somebody's attention for 2 hours. That's like, I don't think I hardly watch movies these days. I don't think I
Really?
really listen to any podcasts that are more than like an hour. Like,
Wow.
I don't think I have like 2 hours in my schedule most days where I can just like chill and consume like one thing.
That's fair. And I feel like, anyway, like a lot of entertainment, you know, is I don't know if it started. I feel like it started when Netflix, I actually want to say,
Yeah.
like, started up. They kind of, like, changed the game, and, like, shows could be presented in a better way, better production value, and just, they kind of looked more like movies. And now that we're at that level where we have shows that look like movies, it's like, I think people enjoy the movies more, or the shows more,
Yeah.
because you can just take those breaks.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of guy who really likes to pause a movie like halfway in or a third of the way in. You know what I mean?
Do you ever fall asleep during movies?
Definitely. But, I mean...
Do you remember the last movie you fell asleep in?
Ooh. Wow, what a question. Okay, it was... My girlfriend was really into Hilary Duff back in the day.
As you should be, yeah.
And we watched How I Met Your Father. Terrible.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I'm a huge fan of How I Met Your
Yeah,
Mother. You like
same.
that?
Love How I Met Your Mother.
Amazing. And so, like, you know, I wanted to give it a shot, and it was just bad, but then we ended up watching A Cinderella Story. Is that the movie? Is that what it's called?
A Cinderella Story. You got the name
Yeah,
right.
so I think that was the last one I felt. And that wasn't too long ago, maybe a month ago. What about you?
I love Hilary Duff. Last movie I fell asleep in, though.
Yeah.
I would never disgrace Hilary that way. That would be insulting. But
To be fair, after we finished watching it. And
okay.
Not completely bad. Like, I'm also a fan of those cheesy kind of movies. I'm just not a fan of Hilary Duff. So there's other cheesy movies that are similar to that I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very predictable. Like, you could sleep through the full middle hour and wake up at the end and still understand everything that happened.
But I get why she liked it. It was one of her movies from
Yes,
childhood.
exactly. Like, it's a feel-good kind of one. But no, the last movie I fell asleep in, this is bad because I was actually in the theaters.
Oh my god.
So I paid for a really expensive nap. But I went to see Dune, and I fell asleep during Dune. My friend really wanted to go, and I said yes, not knowing anything about Dune. And From what I remember, the first 8 minutes, great cinematography. I also should add that I did have an edible, and I also was on medication at the time, so I probably shouldn't have had the edible on top of these. What are they like? Not antibiotics. That's what I was taking. I was taking antibiotics at the time as well. Anyway, so it was like not a good situation, and I fell asleep for the full. It's like a 3-hour movie, so I got a decent nap in, and we were in like the fancy theaters with like the big chairs, so.
Okay.
It was great. I do need
the VIP, right?
The VIP ones, yeah.
I've never done that.
Oh, you gotta do it. I went on the cheap night too, so it wasn't like
sleeping on the VIP.
Sleeping on the VIP,
and not like how you are. I want to do it eventually. I feel like maybe the Doctor Strange. I'm a like huge comic book guy, so I feel like I might do that. I didn't for the Batman for some reason. Didn't think about it. Got my tickets like way ahead of time and just never thought about it. I've heard good things about this VIP.
It's a fun time. If you like, personally, I don't really like going to the movies that often. Like, if I'm going to watch a movie, I'd rather be at home where I can have my own snacks and things.
That's what was good about the pandemic,
Yeah.
Because a lot of movies were just being released straight to streaming services.
Yeah. I was reading a news article that was talking about how there were quite a number of films this year at the Oscars that were like Netflix films or like Amazon Prime films that were made by these streaming companies that were nominated for Oscars. So like producing like pretty, I don't know what Oscars really mean in terms of quality, but I guess decent quality.
I think
films.
like a lot of movies just weren't made or pushed. The release date got pushed. Until they could actually be released in theaters too, So that opened the door for a lot. But, I mean, Netflix is making some good stuff. Netflix is still, when I think of all, like I have, what do I got now? I just got Disney Plus again. So I have that.
Do you have a on and off again relationship with Disney Plus, or what's the...
I got it when it first came out, and I went through my free month and I think one more month. And the second month was only because I didn't cancel in time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so by the end of the second month, I'm not really into Star Wars. So by like the end of the second month, like when it first came out, didn't have a lot and I was over it, And now there's some things that have come out that I'm like, I can download, like I do download some things, but I just want to watch it properly and support the things that I like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean... There's a lot. I think I've got 5. Like, Netflix, Prime, Crave.
We spend so much money on TV streaming these days. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Luckily, I live with my girlfriend, so we get to split it. What's your living situation like?
I live with a roommate.
Okay.
So we do split.
Yeah.
Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus. I only ever really watch off of Netflix, to be honest. But yeah.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
What are you watching right now?
I haven't been watching. What was I watching? I was sick earlier this week, and I was watching this. I always watch Shrek. Shrek's my favorite movie. Shrek 1 and Shrek 2. Shrek the Third.
Oh man, I'm so with you. Like we were talking about top 5,
uh-huh.
and you said Shrek characters, and I'm like, well, I only really know people from the the first characters from the first 2.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I would dare say that Shrek 2, almost as good as the first Shrek. Pretty much on par.
Almost
in my
as good,
opinion.
yeah. Yeah, it's a good sequel.
Yeah, soundtrack incredible on both. The artistry. It's got everything you want. Comedy, humor, romance, fantasy, action. It's good for all ages. It's a masterpiece.
I don't remember I can't remember the last time I watched it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you
That's
don't
your favorite
remember,
movie of all time, though?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Probably Shrek. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I respect that. I'm Home Alone.
Home Alone. Okay, another classic. Yeah.
That's like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Your
like
hands.
it's just...
You're a big... Maybe should I get Shrek and Fiona on my hands? I think that'd be
on
super
your hands?
cute. Yeah.
That'd be gangster.
Nice to meet you guys.
I'm sure there's some good Shrek fucking... Well, see, if I was doing it, I'd probably get Donkey. Shrek and Donkey.
Shrek and Donkey.
Yeah, I know. You're like...
Yeah.
I get Fiona. We'll go through our characters, though. For sure. Yeah, I'm watching Moon Knight right now.
Moon Knight.
Moon
What's
Knight.
Moon Knight?
It's a Marvel show. That's what I got Disney Plus for. I feel like, man, I go through shows really quick now. You know, I mean, if it's a half-hour show. Oh, also, The Righteous Gemstones just started that. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, so that's Danny McBride, John Goodman, Adam de something. You know him. Have you seen Pitch Perfect?
Oh, yeah.
He's the funny guy from Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I don't know.
Adam something.
Yes, I know who you're referring to.
Yeah, him. Yeah. And like, they're basically a religious family, but they have a lot of secrets. Like I said, I just started watching it. That's definitely something that seems like I'm gonna breeze through. I think they only have 2 seasons.
Are you into documentaries or docuseries?
Love documentaries.
Oh, okay, this isn't a docuseries, but this is a sidebar. Anna Delvey, I did the show about her. I think it's called Inventing Anna. That's what it's called. Have you seen it?
Oh,
or have you seen the ads for
think okay. Is it a documentary?
It's not a documentary. Sorry, it's based on a true story. But I really like things that are based on
I think I know what you're
stories.
talking about.
Yeah,
and I started watching it with my girlfriend, and I couldn't really get into it, to be honest. You know, but as like, she watched it like basically beside me a lot of the time, and I don't know, I could see the commitment that the main actor put into, her role.
She's so talented. She did a really good job of that one. Yeah. I just think the story is so cool. Like, someone who's conning all of these high-rolling, like, bank people, and just, like, she fooled everybody in her life just by having a crazy amount of confidence and just being like, oh, yeah. Like, I mean, she's a complete narcissist and, like, manipulative person, but I respect the hustle. I do. And it was really
it's
entertaining.
odd. It's odd to say that. I watched Queen Pins. It's a movie, so I don't know if you'll get into it, but it's on Amazon. Less than an hour and a half for sure. And it's based on a true story about these ladies who ran a coupon scam.
Oh, okay.
And basically they went to where coupons were being printed, talked to some people, and obviously like found some workers that were unhappy, that were willing to do, what they wanted them to do, and just were getting like hundreds of coupons and selling them for like half the price.
Oh.
Like, I mean, like coupons for like free products, not
right.
like 50% off. Like all of the coupons were free things,
Oh.
and they did this for a long time, and they were just like soccer moms,
That's cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. See, my goals in life now are to quit my job and become a trophy wife, but I think if that doesn't work out, clipping coupons and hustling sounds like a good alternative for sure.
See, I feel it's funny because like you have a lot of what's the like sugar mama things. You joke about sugar mamas a lot. You're on actual TikTok?
Oh yes, I am. Yes,
you're enjoying that, eh?
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you seem to be actually good at it. So
thank
you. Ride the wave, man.
Why not? Yeah. And it's a cool way. Like it's an interesting platform. Like if you would have told me a year ago that I would be on TikTok, like I'd be like, cringe, that sounds so disgusting and weird, but like it's a lot of fun, and I think I'm really critical about people spending too much time on social media and on their phones, especially like young people who typically are using those apps, but I think it's like I've made friends off of TikTok, like they're like I've met friends that like we just like started following each other and being like, oh, we have a similar sense of humor, and like then I've met up and like have developed a friendship or whatever, which is cool. Yeah, it's so cool, and I think it can be a really interesting tool to learn more about topics that you're interested in, or get to connect from like different points of view and like perspective, and like it's been sweet. Like I've had people who have like who know me from TikTok or know the videos that I do with Narcity who have came to see me at stand-up shows. And like the last show I did, there was like this girl that came that was like, oh, like I like followed you from TikTok and just like wanted to come see your show.
That's
like,
so
can I take a photo with you? And I was like, fuck yeah, like that's awesome. Like thank you so much for coming. Like so it's cool that like I feel like I can connect with people on a way where like, this girl's telling me like, yeah, like every time I see some of your stuff, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is like so relatable. And so like the fact that somebody felt like so connected with like what I was sharing, that they were like, I'm gonna spend my Friday night and like put on my jeans and like take the bus to this bar to watch this girl perform. You know, like so cool. So
That's
cool.
sweet, and it's nice to have like ways to do that. I tried to do it. Couldn't really get into it, and just kind of just about. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. Oh yeah, we're off a little bit. We're off. I'm 36. Yeah, I got into this way late. Like I'm so.
Oh really?
Like I'm in a way I'm super like about just under 4 years ago, but like a lot of the time was in COVID, and so I wasn't on stage for like a good for the first chunk was like a year, and then the second chunk was. I mean, however many months, but it was like at least over a year and a half that I wasn't on stage.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if I should count that. I always I feel like I talk about this with like every comedian. Like, do we count it? Like, who knows? But yeah, just under 4 years.
Cool.
And yeah, like you know, fell backwards into it and just kind of love it. And it's just definitely. It was just one of those things where after I did it, I just knew.
Yeah.
Like I've tried a lot of stuff, and I got like a fraction of the feeling I got, you know, after doing stand-up or while doing stand-up. But I mean, it was just like literally life-changing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was exactly the same way. Like I remember I did like my first open mic, and I was just like, oh yeah, like I'm going to be chasing this high for ever. Like just you feel I think it's such a beautiful thing at the end of the day. Like even if I go up and I bomb, which you know never happens because I'm perfect, right? But you're still in a room full of people that just like want to be entertained, and like you're trying to make each other laugh. Like that's the most beautiful place you could possibly be, I think, like in the whole city. You're
trying. I think it's like, you know, you're yeah.
And I always find the funniest jokes are the ones where you're just like, huh, I didn't know anybody else thought that way, you know? And so I feel like comedy has such a tool to talk about topics that are either like stigmatized or like I talk about like mental health a lot in my jokes, and like I've seen other comics do really cool stuff on like other things that they're passionate about or like maybe like embarrassed about or whatever, and like it gets like really big laughs because you're just in like it's a bonding experience. Everybody's like sharing that like same enjoyment around this same experience or idea. It's cool.
Okay, so I want to just go back to the sugar mama thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, so truth or dare? That's what I was gonna say. True or false? You are a sugar mama?
I'm not wealthy enough to be a sugar mama. Are you kidding?
Fair enough. I felt like you weren't. I felt like it's been answered already in your stories and stuff like that I've seen.
Yeah.
But you give a lot of advice to the sugar mamas. It seems like people ask for advice.
I'm all for
about that.
I'm all for women's improved economic participation, and like you know. If, like, you were my sugar baby and I gave you $30 a week, like, that's $30 that's going back into the economy. Like, why wouldn't you want more boss babes out there?
There's so many ways to look at the sugar mama thing.
Okay.
And, like, you presented it in some funny ways. And, I don't know. Like, there's some ways...
I just don't know why a man would have a sugar mama when he could just go to work and make more than her. You know what I mean? Like...
It's a freaking good point. You know? And like, I mean, this doesn't really have anything to do with your saying. I don't know why I say and. But if you're in this arrangement, like there's literal sites that you can find these people.
Yeah,
I think if it's like it's you know. This is the arrangement.
I would much more be like a sugar baby. Like I would have a sugar daddy before I would have somebody that I would give money to. Like
okay.
I like okay, but here's the thing. In my head, I'm like, okay, well like I don't want to sleep with like some gross old man.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just like, okay, well like if I just like wear nice things and like laugh at their jokes and like go on dates with them, but like don't touch them, like maybe they would pay me. I don't think that exists. I don't know.
I hear, like, from a lot of them that they don't have to do anything. If there's any old wealthy
men listening, please.
You know what I mean? That they just hang around and they just
like
give them kisses on the cheek and just make them feel special by,
exactly.
laughing, doing exactly what you just said.
Oh,
but who knows if it's true? Like, only those two really know, what's true. And I like... For me personally, like whatever your thing is, like if that's what you're that's what you're doing,
no knocks. If you're selling your body or whatever for and that's what you want to do, great. I don't think I would enjoy that for me personally.
See, I think about it, and I
would you have a sugar mama? Like, you want to quit your job.
Obviously,
like,
I'm in a relationship. In a loving... Like, I love my lady, you know? But if I was, like, single, like, I would definitely, like, weighing the pros and cons... I feel like there would be more pros to... As long as it wouldn't be... Like, I wouldn't be doing anything I didn't want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't really hate on anybody. I would just be that kind of, like... What would I be in the position if I had a sugar mama? What am I?
You'd be a sugar baby.
Sugar baby. Okay,
yeah.
So if I was a sugar baby, I would still do my thing. Like, I just wouldn't be, like... a complete freeloader. Like, I would take all the benefits of being a sugar baby, but I would still, like, be doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
and pursuing my own things and making money that way, too, you know?
Yeah, it's just, like, an avenue to let you do that. I've also heard people... I know some friends that have dabbled in that world before, and sometimes you are paid in cash, right? Or, like, e-transfers, whatever. But sometimes you're also paid in gifts.
Yeah.
So that I'm like, I want some, like, gold jewelry and, like, I don't know, fancy things. Like, that sounds great.
Yeah, there's I can't remember her name right now, but you know what? I'm not even going to mention it, but she does a bit about, you know what? Fuck it. I'll mention it because I can't remember her name. If anybody knows her, fucking tag her in the video. But she did this thing about someone asking for pictures of her feet, and then they gave her like $100 Arby's like gift card. And it's like, yo, even though I don't like Arby's, like, I would still show my feet for, you know, a $50 Arby's gift card.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They got, I'm pretty sure they've got, like, at least, like, French fries at Arby's or something, right? Or, like, just $100 in Diet Cokes. I don't know. I don't want to eat any of the sandwiches. No, thank you. I can already shit my pants good enough on my own. I don't need that induced, but,
Okay, so, what you were kind of talking about before I brought it back, we're going to bring it back to before we brought it back to the thing. And your joke writing, okay? Like, do you find, because this is like something, I don't want to say I'm struggling with, but it's like trying to find a balance because the things that I write, like I have a weird sense of humor. The things that I write, you know, I write them because I think they're funny, but crowds don't always think they're funny. Crowds tend to like different things a lot of the times than what I think is funny. And so it's like I'm trying not to... I will never be another comedian. Like, I'm always just going to be who I am regardless of whether I do well or not. Yeah. But it's like I find a lot of the times the more crowd work, the more improv stuff, which I'm sure like you probably have been breezing through with your improv background, but it took me a lot to kind of get decent at it. But it seems like that's always the stuff that really gets the loudest reactions. And
yeah. Well, I feel like that, like, you do a lot of hosting as well. And so I feel like, especially when you're hosting, like, people like that kind of, like, interaction, especially, like, off the top of the show.
I was getting bored.
Yeah,
totally. I just wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you're like, I can only say my stupid jokes this many times.
Yeah, like the first two shows, I kind of did my jokes, and I was like, man, I need to I was watching, like, Brendan.
Yeah.
Phenomenal host. Like, one of my favorite hosts.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
Yeah.
And, like, I wanna do it with that amount of confidence.
Yeah.
You know?
He's such a great host, and shout out Brandon. I think he's, like, a really great guy. Like, every time I've chatted with him, like, very kind, like, willing to give me advice, like, acting and, like, agents and, like, stand-up and stuff. Like, never had a bad interaction with him. He's great.
I, like, messaged him one day, like, texted him, like, yo, bro, like, I woke up with this, like, great idea for a stoner comedy movie, but I have no idea how to write screenplays. Like,
he's exactly like, the man you text.
Right, exactly. Yes, and he was
yeah.
just like, all right, man, like, well, this is what I can tell you. It's really hard and all these things. And, like, I just like, well, any advice I can. He wasn't the only person I messaged, you know, but he was, like, one of 3 people that I was like, I definitely want to get some insight, because he is that guy. You know, he's just super nice, and he'll always help you if he can.
Yeah.
And, he was on before.
Yeah. But no, you're saying with, like, how do you, like, get stuff that, like people are gonna react, like...
Yeah, like, what's your process, and how do you go about getting laughs?
For me, I definitely will get some laughs, like, off the cuff, or, like, from more improvised stuff. I don't really do a lot of crowd work. At this point, I'm trying to, like, perfect my, like, tight 10. And I don't want I want there to be like space for crowd work, and I want to give myself enough flexibility to respond to things that are changing and happening. But like
what you're saying is so key.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's hard. Well, at least for me. Okay. I find it super hard to do crowd work, especially if I'm doing like 7 minutes of like mostly new material.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to do crowd work because I'm gonna forget what I like my next joke or something like that. Miss a line.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's the more familiar you are with your material.
Yeah. And then you can move things out of order based on what somebody says. Like I've started doing that as well. Like in my sets, like if there's something that a previous comic said that I can like link back to, like I make sure I either start with that or make sure I make reference to the previous comic's joke. And so like obviously helps like being aware of your surroundings. But I grind on like writing and like I go to a lot of mics. Which is like, you know, takes up time but it's like, it's valuable and like you have to do it. And I also do like joke writing and joke testing through TikTok as well. So the way that I set up like a TikTok joke is different than the way I would set up and present a stand-up joke. Just because there are different platforms and in TikTok you need to use far less words, whereas stand-up, like people want a little bit more storytelling. Like they don't want you to drag on, they want you to get to the laugh, right? But, I'll think of an idea and like usually you can tell by like how many comments or how many shares and interaction you're getting, like, okay, is this a good premise? Like I find not necessarily maybe for like writing out your joke, set up punchline, but like for creating ideas around like, okay, is this premise funny? Is it relatable? Because I really try to have that style in all my comedy where like I don't want to say I'm super self-deprecating, but like I speak from a lot of like personal experiences or stuff that I know people are going to find relatable. And so usually I always think that stuff is funny, so I always go with what I think is funny. And I always try to remember too that like when you're meeting an audience, right? Like when we're doing your show at Comedy Bar, like you're meeting 95 people for the first time. You know what I mean? Like I would never meet 95 people and come out with like my darkest, dirtiest, sloppiest joke that I know is going to offend. Not that I don't really tell jokes like that, to be honest, but like,
but if you did,
if I did, like, you know, like it's like you want to, like they want to know who you are, like, and so for me, like I always try to start with like more like personal stuff so that people can be like, rather than just being like, who is this person, why should I like listen to you, kind of thing. And I'm not gonna lie, like I as a woman too, like I play a lot into my physical appearance. Like, I've got some feedback. And again, this is why the internet is great and horrible. But a lot of people have, like, told me things that, like, about, like, how I look physically. And so, like, I make tons of jokes that, like, I look like I belong on the Disney Channel. And, like, I have a resting therapist face. Like, I just, like, these things are just true. And, like, I probably wouldn't have had these insights about myself on my own. But, like, people from the I'm not stealing jokes from people who comment on my posts, just so I'm clear. But they'll say things that will then inspire. Like, you're getting this feedback from strangers, and, like, that's what an audience is, right? Like, they're, like, just strangers. So it's, like, I feel like doing things to, like, get them to understand your, like, point of view and, like, who you are in the world. Like, it's easier if the audience can, I don't want to say, like, typecast your brain and, like, typecast you in, like, a role. But it's easy if they can kind of, like, get you first before they understand the lens in which you're seeing life, which that's what I feel
and
like
it's hard to do it with the amount of time you know you have on stage.
But I'm brand new to this, so don't fucking listen to anything I say. That's just
no.
The way
I mean, you know, what you're saying is legitimate. I can't really speak about, you know, appealing to the TikTok audience, but it seems like you know what you're doing, and it makes sense. What you said makes sense. So
yeah, it was cool. And I mean, like, everybody has, like, their process, too. I just find that for me, like, you know, not that I'm saying testing a joke on TikTok is the same as testing it at a mic. Absolutely not. Or testing it at a show or different types of show. Like, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. But, like, I can record and post a TikTok that's, you know, like, I can do that within 10 minutes. If I want to go to practice a joke at a mic, I gotta go to the mic an hour early to sign up. I gotta wait for my turn. I gotta buy a drink, which, like, you know, I'm happy to do all these things, and, like, I love supporting local comedy. Yeah, and I love, like, networking and, like, meeting, like, comics as well, and, like, it's such a different energy being on stage than being behind a screen. But, like, if it's just me testing out a few new jokes, like, I'd rather just do that from my phone than, like, spend 3 hours on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, no, I test out on everybody.
Yeah,
to be honest,
and they
like
hate
people
it, right?
I work with. Well, I don't ever try to present it like I'm testing it out.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
I always just try to present
Do they know
it
you're
naturally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, you know, like, I'm always the guy who's trying to make people laugh regardless of whether I'm going to use the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But there's been plenty of times, even on the podcast, you know, you got to take it from wherever you get. Anytime anyone kind of laughs at something, you got to make a note of that, you know, and just,
totally.
Is this worth, you know, pulling my phone out right now and just jotting something down quick?
Yeah.
Is that how you do it? You have a, like,
like notes. I don't bring my purse in here, but I have a little tiny notebook in my little, like, purse that I carry around with me everywhere. I love voice memos on my phone, too. Because sometimes I find if I'm, like, the way I do a lot of my joke writing is, like, I talk it out. Mm-hmm. And I find if I start typing, I refine it too much. And then, like, I don't know if you ever do this, but I like to look back at my notes and it's, like, pink bubblegum vibrator. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? like, you know? And then I'm, like, looking at it and I'm like, I don't remember what that joke was. And so I find if I do the voice memos where I explain it a bit more, then one, that's more in my natural voice and how I would do stand-up, and two, like, I don't do that. This is what, okay,
only reason...
revealing the notes app.
The only reason that this is fresh, like, I can remember this is because I wrote this down a few hours ago, because I saw someone post, and they're just, and it was like their kid was sick for X amount of hours, and they were in the hospital. Oh. And it's
that's
like
really
these
sad.
COVID times.
This isn't a joke.
No, but... It's like COVID times, and they just want everyone to know that it wasn't COVID. So instead of saying COVID, they're like, "Oh, this 48-hour virus or 40-something hour virus," and I was just like, why do parents just, however long their kid was sick for, you know, just call it that amount of hours virus? Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, like, I just wrote down 31-hour virus. That was my note.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
I'm actually.
Can I give you a tag for that?
A tag?
A tag for like just like I feel like that would be so funny if you like brought it up like because I feel like parents would be like, oh well, you do that because when your kid's sick, like, you know, whatever. But like I don't know if you could make up something funny that you have, like, I don't know, like HPV or like I'm not saying you have HPV. That's such a weird thing to say. But like something or being like, yeah, I've had warts that have been like, you know, 36-week warts or like whatever. Like I don't talk
I see where you're coming from.
Extend it to be like, well, how else would I say? Like I would be like, oh, I have, like, I don't know, you said you would be dating your girlfriend for 4 years. Like, oh, I have a, like, you know, 400-month relationship or whatever. Yeah. Like, you know.
48-month virus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got her at home, but that's my girlfriend doesn't like it when I call her that.
No, I love it. I love it. And, like, that's, just like how we're doing it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like...
Okay, also, I should say, you asked about joke writing. I do have, like, a few comedian friends that I hang out with semi-regularly. Shout out, and like we do this kind of stuff where we like just like workshop jokes and like give each other like honest feedback, because it's also like you come up with better ideas yourself when you start riffing with someone else, right?
I did it when I was in Second City. I had like a crew of people. It was like there's like 4 of us.
Yeah.
And we did like 2 levels, and we did a lot of that kind of stuff early on, and then one guy, he had a kid, and just seems like he was a musician before, and I think he just kind of went back to being a musician and is focusing on being a father. And then had a falling out with one of the other guys, and then it just kind of fell apart. Now I don't really have but yeah, man, I enjoy that. I think it's like a good thing to be doing, especially earlier. I don't think you should stop. But like especially early on, it's really nice to find like a group of people that you know you can bond with and just come up together with, you know.
Well, and it's nice to just have other people. Like I feel like people who don't do stand up don't really realize that like a lot of stand up is just like you sitting in bars alone and you sitting in your house alone writing things down on a piece of paper and practicing them like in front of the mirror. Like it's not an inherently. Do you
practice in front of a mirror?
I do personally. Yeah. I feel like for me it forces. When I'm watching myself do it, I can be a bit more physical with it, and it helps me get into like character more.
Is that something that came from your acting background?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tell you practice.
I always thought about doing like improv just to kind of improve my crowd work skills.
Second City has really sweet classes for improv as well.
Did you take improv at Second City?
I've taken like a few of their workshops, but like pretty much all of my friends have done their full classes, and have like said really good things. Yeah. Right. I feel like you could probably even get into like a level 2 or 3. Like if you tell them that you've done stand up and that you perform, like I feel like you wouldn't really have to start maybe at level 1. I don't know, but Also, level 1's cool too.
You know what, man? Level 1 in Second City, I think, like I said, I did 2.
Uh-huh.
First one, I learned a lot more. You know, like, the second one was, like, more, like, networking and stage presence, but, like, you learn a lot about just, like, a lot of my foundation. Like, you know, how I write jokes, and even if I disagreed with my instructor or my teacher, or I don't know what they call them, but, like, I always valued what he said, and I took a lot more from level 1 than level 2. But I don't know if it would be the same for improv. Who knows?
Yeah.
I would prefer to start at level 1 anyway, to be honest.
Try it out, for sure. That's interesting you say that about level 2, because I was thinking about, I've done my Second City level 1, and I was thinking of doing level 2, but I kind of just decided, like, I feel like at this point it might be more useful for me to just get practice doing mics and doing
Man, if
shows.
you're already
like,
so deep,
yeah,
like I don't even think you need it. All you're just gonna be doing what you do at open mics and at shows.
Yeah,
but in front of your teacher, and he's
That's
gonna be.
true.
I mean, you have your friends. Like I mean, you're pretty good unless you know have a spare $350.
Not
or however much it is right now.
If I get a sugar daddy, maybe.
Oh shoot! Just get him to There's one of your gifts.
Yeah, it's the first gift I want. What would be top of your sugar baby wish list?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, oh, you know what? This is, it's big. Like, are we talking like how much can we go? Sky's the limit. I'm not going too crazy, like millions or anything.
I was thinking like a singular item. Like, it would be the gift that they would give you for, like, first meeting them. You know, like, it wouldn't necessarily be, like, a Bahamas trip, but what would be your, like, a first little... It can be a very expensive, like, token or something. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't say it that way.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like, we could do that, and then we could do, like, what would be, like, the dream. Like...
Okay. This is such a weird... I've never really thought about this. Okay.
Oh, but I don't know what you're spending your time doing then,
maybe,
Paul.
like... I don't know, like a tattoo or something. I don't know.
Okay, what kind of tattoo?
I don't know.
Okay.
No idea.
All right, you're just like always want more tattoos.
Yeah, you know.
Cool.
That's
how many tattoos do you have?
5 right now.
Okay.
This one is actually 2 tattoos. It was actually done in
cool.
2 separate times, but yeah, I guess it's just 1 now. So 5. You have any? You just have that one?
I just have a little tree here, yeah.
I asked if you have any, but I've been looking at that throughout the time you've been here.
You're like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I have the cropped pants, so it is right out in the...
All right, what about you, first gift?
First gift from a sugar daddy? I would really like new expensive pillows. Like the cooling ones. And like silk pillowcases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I dig it.
Yeah. Or maybe like earrings or something.
Earrings, like diamond earrings. You like diamonds?
I do like diamonds. I'm more into like, I love like classic, just like gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like more of like, I like white gold. Or like silver or any. I'm not really like the yellow gold kind of guy. I don't think it looks good on me.
What about pearls?
But like right now, like my fucking earrings are plastic. You know, these are just stainless steel.
Oh, he's a fake.
I'm good. No, I mean, these are real earrings. They're just like, they're rubber. They're silicone, you know? So they like bend and stuff.
I feel like that's more comfortable for like sleeping and
stuff.
stuff.
It's so, yeah. Absolutely.
You don't want that digging into
especially
your neck
when they're this big,
Yeah. Do, okay, what would be your ultimate sugar daddy?
Okay, so, I mean, at the end of the day...
the name of the episode, Sugar Daddies.
At the end of the day, like, one of my dreams is to have, like, a nice... Like, I just want, like, a van that I can live in.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying, like, I would fully live in it all the time, but I just want one that's done up really nice, where, like, you know, like a shower and a sink and a bed.
Would you do, like, van life kind of thing?
It's just my dream to just drive around and just, like, you know, like, open my front door, sliding door to, like, wherever I am and...
You should do that, and you could just like you could be doing little shows like in like
that's
all across
exactly
Ontario
you know
or the country, whatever.
It fits in, even like a small RV, but
that'd be cool.
Yeah, like I also what are the
You would need something you got a dog and how many cats?
2 cats.
Yeah, and your girlfriend, like, you guys are gonna need something, like, a little bit bigger than, like, small,
Do you know, like, the old school Airstreams?
Yeah.
Those are, like, that's, like, the dream, you know?
That would be really sweet. What color of one would you want?
Oh, I don't know. Just, like, maybe, like, black, like, anything. I mean, black and chrome, just, like, you know? I don't know, man. That's, like, but that's, like, super sugar. That's, like, marry me until I die, sugar mama or something.
I mean, how much,
isn't it?
Like, I don't know, like, how much money do you think that would cost? What would be the market value on that?
It couldn't be more than 100 G's, like what I'm thinking of.
I feel like
I don't think it could be.
This is a 6-month anniversary.
Really?
Gift.
Eh?
Yeah, I
you're
think so.
You're more familiar. I trust your
I have no
judgment.
idea what I'm talking about. But that would be. I just think I'm worth that.
Just crunch the numbers, people. All right.
Yeah, I've done it through my mentally not well brain, and that's the calculation that came out. That's just what I think I would deserve. So yeah,
all right,
that's a good one.
What about right now? What's the favorite thing you own right now that you actually own? Yeah.
Okay, my mind first went to. I was gonna say my glasses. Is it lame if I say my glasses?
No.
Okay. What about you? What about you?
I really don't know. If I say a pet, then I have to pick one of my pets. I don't know.
You also just picked a pet over your girlfriend.
No, but like I don't own her. She's not.
Okay,
I don't
sorry,
own
that's
her,
right. Right?
This is 2022, Hilary.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
Thank you. Paul's a feminist.
Independent women. All right.
Thank you so much for correcting me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was.
But like I did pay. Well, I only paid for one of my pets, so I guess it's safe to say that my favorite thing that I own is my dog.
Cool.
I got my cats for free, so yeah.
There you go, Chester.
Yeah.
That's the winner. Very cool. Very cool.
All right, I guess we'll try some snacks out.
Let's do it.
Bang! They're all from Japan. All right. I get this monthly box, and this is like the beginning of a new box, so everything's in here. If you don't know what it is, you can check in there.
Oh my goodness, I'm sure I will not know what anything is. Where do you get these from?
Just online. I get one probably like every 2 months or so.
Really?
Yeah, I really only eat them on the podcast.
Okay.
That edible is like
it's
hitting me a little bit right now.
We're having fun. This Choco Banana Kit Kat,
Woo!
that I think needs to be tried.
Okay, let's do that.
That's so cool.
And I'm gonna do. Okay, I think this is
cotton
cotton
Paul,
candy.
This is so exciting. My the way to my heart is through my stomach. This is wow. We've shared snacks. We're gonna be best friends after this. I hope you understand.
I want to say this is cotton candy. It seems like cotton candy.
Oh, I didn't.
Yours is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's also why I picked it. It was the least weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, I thought so. But what flavor? Did cotton candy really even have flavors? It's just colors, right?
It's just colors, yeah. I think that's most artificially colored things. What's your favorite sweet?
Right now, because I'm like, I literally, I went to the dentist today, and so, because I've been having teeth problems, I've been eating a lot of cookies.
Oh.
Lately.
Like little ones that you can kind of like gum on and you don't really have to chew that much?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I'm pretty big on sweets. Like, I eat a lot of, I feel like this is just standard cotton candy. I eat a lot of junk food, and just after I found out that I had the cavities, like I got my checkup. They're like, yeah, you got cavities. And so since that point, like I just got them filled today. Well, this is my first like real like candy. Chocolate, whatever.
What do you think of those?
I don't know. They're alright.
I think they're very exciting, but they're not Kit Kats, you know.
Yeah. You do have... I mean, it's right. When they say chocolate banana, I feel like they nailed it. But
it is chocolate banana.
Just not sure if it's my thing.
This is very tasteless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just gave me this and, like, I didn't know what it was, I'd be like, why are you feeding me the inside of a cushion, Paul? Like, it has no... it actually doesn't have, like, any taste at all.
You know, I had a friend who made...
unless I have COVID.
Weed cotton candy.
What?
I'm not even shitting you. Yeah.
How do you have weed cotton candy?
Well, he made it.
One of these.
Like, he's like... he sells, and he's really into food, too. So he had, like, for a while... I don't think he has the cotton candy machine anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, ice cream machine. He made, like, weed ice cream. He was just, like
a
weed
carnival.
everything. Oh, man, it was amazing.
That's
and,
cool.
like, I always, like... I've known him for, like, a long time. And so, like, anytime I'm, like, at... he lives with another one of my buddies. And anytime I'm there, he's just like, yo, try this. It's been a while since he's actually given me anything to try, but it used to be, like, pretty much every time I was over there.
That's cool. I feel like... sorry, let's just go through this. This is a grown man who owns a cotton candy machine.
Yeah, it's not even that big. Like, you think it would be, like, massive and take up, like, a big... But it's, like, smaller than a microwave. Like,
okay.
the one he had.
Okay,
You know?
okay. So, sorry. This is a grown man with a small size...
Okay. It changes everything, Hilary, okay? I don't know...
All right.
I don't know where you're coming at.
So, gentlemen, are you listening? Paul says size matters. That's what I understood from that comment.
I mean, to a degree. You know?
Okay, so sorry. This grown man had a small-sized cotton candy machine.
I mean, he's just into food.
Okay.
You know?
Cool.
I
Like,
don't know.
and then I hope he sold it. Like, did he just get rid of it? Or, like, I feel like you could put that on
The
Facebook
machine
Marketplace.
or, like, the cotton candy?
Oh, I was referring to the cotton candy machine.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh.
But he definitely sold, like, the ice cream and the cotton candy
That's
and stuff.
sweet. I mean, I guess that's also illegal, but what an interesting way to spend your time, I guess.
Whatever, man. Whatever. It's weed, people. You know? Your grandma's fucking smoking that shit. Yo, one time...
When was the first time you smoked weed?
Middle school.
Middle school?
Mm-hmm.
And what were you doing?
Smoking weed. What do you
But,
mean?
like, were you at a party? Were you, like,
Oh,
cutting class?
legit,
Were
the
you, like...
first time I smoked weed was on the roof of a church.
Really? Were you skipping Sunday school, Paul?
I'm sorry, Jesus.
Were you actually supposed to be at church?
No, I wasn't supposed to be at church.
Oh.
There was this church by, like, where I went to school.
Oh, okay.
And it was just, like, after school, I was hanging out with some people, and, yeah. I started selling weed in middle school, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you make a lot of money from it?
Not a lot, but I supported my habit, and I was able to, like, get by, you know? I was working at 13 years old.
Doing what? Like, just selling, or...?
Door to door. No, selling, but not, like, weed or anything like that. Like, so, well, around the same time I started selling weed, but I'm talking about door to door sales as, like, part of this, it was called the Student Employment Program.
Okay.
And so anywhere from, like, 12 to 18, you could, go to this pickup location and you would be given, like, chocolates or brownies or flowers or whatever. And you would go, like, knock on doors and you would make, like, $1. You'd sell things for, like, $3 and you'd make $1 of everything you sold.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did that as, like, a fucking kid because I foolishly... Like I said, I was in foster homes and stuff, like, most of my life. Mm-hmm. And for a brief period, I was living with my mom. And, like, my mom was just, like, into drugs and stuff like that. So I just... legitimately to eat properly and give, like, my brother and sisters, like, some food. I took care of them a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And, like...
Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started working, And then the weed came into my life because through the student employment program I met some older kids, you know what I mean, and
cool.
So I started selling weed to my middle school, and I had a interesting upbringing, but I feel like I learned a lot of things that some people don't learn until they're, like, older, and I think it's beneficial. Like, there's definitely benefits to not having good parents, you know, but I feel like, you know, there's a lot more good, you know, benefits to having good parents. Just try to remain positive, you know?
What do you feel like has been the biggest thing that you've learned? Like when you say the things that you've learned that other people wouldn't have gotten to until much later in life, like what do you feel like? So I have the belief that the universe like always teaches us lessons. And so like every time you're going through a really, really garbage crap time where you're just like, holy crap, like I'm not going to see the end of this. And like I have depression. And so I really have like those times where you're just like, am I going to do it today? Like, you know, like sometimes like, you know, I'm just like, am I going to make it to the end of the day? I don't know. And like, I just try to remind myself that every time I have one of those lows, like I will come back out of it. You always do. And when you do, you're always like, wow, I really did not understand this thing about life until I experienced this like really shitty situation. And like, wow, that's so cool that like that's something that I can see that like I shouldn't like, you know, whatever, a lot of people struggle. And like I used to struggle with like people pleasing or like trying to do things for other people and like not acting enough for yourself, or people are acting in ways that are just like, I don't know, impulsive, or like people would see as like reckless, or like just there's so many things that like people's behavior, it's not about you personally. And so like that's a lesson.
It's very rarely about you personally.
Yeah. So I feel like that's mine. Like so I was like wondering like what's like something yours that you've like learned?
You really just need to bet on yourself and believe in yourself and know that like legitimately if you want, obviously you're not going to be a dinosaur if you want to be a dinosaur, you know, but if you want a raise, or you want a better position, or you want to switch careers, or you want whatever you want, like
ask that person out,
you could fucking get it if you stop making excuses. I just had no excuses to make, you know, in my position. So it's like, you know, at the bottom you only have up to go. So just believe in yourself is the key thing. A lot of people, I don't know, they don't get a lot of opportunities to believe in themselves, or give themselves opportunities where they could believe in themselves.
I think you have to start small. I think you have to start so minute. Like for me, like some days I literally have to be like, I have to believe in myself that I can get up and brush my hair. And sometimes it starts with something as simple as that. And it's like keeping those small promises to yourself. Then you can start focusing on.
And it's not even saying like some days you shouldn't get up and brush your hair. Fuck your hair some days. You know what I mean? But what this?
I don't know
what
who
is
I
this,
am.
surfer
That's
shit?
Disgusting.
Fucking gnarly,
I'm sorry,
man.
kick me out of this place.
Ew, I'll try to edit it out.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not gonna edit it out.
Oh, damn it.
All right.
It's on the internet forever.
Okay. We're gonna get into top 5. Actually, before we get into top 5, I thought this was hilarious because I messaged you like, "Hey, I ask every guest 5 their top 5," you know, and and you put places to pee outside.
I did.
And I thought this was like the fact that you could come up with 5. You're like, "Oh, this is an easy one."
Well,
you
not
know?
easy. Like, I'd have to get a bit inventive, but, like,
Do you pee outside often?
As often as I can. Like, not in the city, but, like, I'm a big, like, camp girl, and, like, I love hiking and all that. And, like, I don't know what it is. Like, peeing outside, I don't like shitting outside, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's just not as enjoyable.
No,
it's like,
not.
You know, whatever, you do it. But I love peeing outside. Yeah, it's great.
I feel like it's a different experience for ladies, but I get enjoyment of peeing outside. You can actually, ladies, if you didn't know this and you wanted to know what it's like to pee like a man, you can now get a device that you can strap. Oh, you know what it? You know
Yeah, it's called a U-Wiz.
Have you used it?
No, I have not used it. But I know people who have, and apparently it does not work that well.
No?
Yeah.
It's messy, eh?
I think, okay, because then it's like if you're camping or something, you're on a hike, now you've just pissed in this, like, cone, and then you have to, like, shake it out, like, I don't know, rinse it out with your water bottle, and then, like, put her back in your backpack. Like, I'd rather just
creates a lot more problems.
Exactly. Yeah, and that point I'll dribble on my
enough.
shoelace a little bit. I don't care. Like, it's way too much work to,
No, I get you. All right. Let's start off with Shrek characters, top 5. You want to go first? I can go first.
You go first. You go first. I got my list here.
And I feel like You might hate me for this. Mm-hmm. Donkey's my number one. Not because Donkey's my number one,
that.
but where Shrek is on my list.
All right, no, it's fine.
Yeah, Donkey for sure.
Donkey number one, yeah.
I want to say he was called King Julian. What, Julian?
Julian.
King Julian. Isn't that fucking...
No, that's not Shrek, man. That's Madagascar.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god!
Julian, like, are we talking about the little, like, I don't know what he is. He's not a rat. Oh, what did I say? A rat.
He is
like
from Madagascar.
That's Madagascar.
And the penguins are from that.
All right,
the penguins aren't on my list.
I think we can agree.
No, hold on.
That the penguins from Madagascar crossed with Shrek. I would pay big money if anybody wants to pay me to make that happen. I will make. That's a great scream.
I felt so confident with this too, and like usually I Google.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, I got this
Shrek
for sure.
And
Julian, King Julian, son.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. That changes nothing. Well, it does change everything, but
you're gonna have to make up another one on the spot.
So number 3, number 3 is Ginger. Number 2 now is Gingerbread Man.
All right. Yep. Gingy.
Number 3, Lord Farquaad.
Okay, why Farquaad on your list?
Mainly like the stuff from the first movie.
Okay, yeah. And
he's John Lithgow.
Yeah, but he's the evil person.
Yeah, but he's hilarious.
Okay, fair.
You don't like the bad guy sometimes?
I love Lord Farquaad. I think he's great.
Not on your list?
So he's on my list, but not under this category.
Okay, all right, we'll get to that. Okay, so, yeah, Lord Farquaad, number 3. Shrek is my number 4, and then I'll put Fiona as my new number 5, since Julian isn't fucking...
Julian's
but let's be real,
Shrek.
King Julian is fucking awesome, no?
No, I would love to see Julian in the swamp. I think that would be highly entertaining. That would be... I don't think Julian and Donkey would get along that well, though.
Interesting.
Like, it would be too much chaotic energy, but I would like to see it. Anyways, okay. My Shrek characters.
Yeah.
Number 1, the ugly stepsister at the bar. I appreciate...
your number.
Listen, alright?
I love it. Okay.
I appreciate a woman who is just shooting her shot. That's number 1. Ugly stepsister at the bar.
Okay.
Number 2, Puss in Boots.
Okay.
Okay, like, love the, like, just Antonio Banderas, great voice actor, and just amazing character. Gingy, also, you know, the guy, I should have put Gingy and Big Gingy. You know in Shrek 2 how, like, Gingy becomes, like, the big Gingy, and he's, like, holding the bridge, and he's like, no, and, like, the big Gingy dies. That's a good one. Okay, number 4 is specifically Sexy Shrek. Shrek and Shrek 2 when, like, Shrek becomes a man.
Okay.
Yeah, Sexy Shrek.
Wow.
And at number 5, the Duloc mascot.
Fuck, I don't remember him.
Okay, so that is... Do you know, like, the little things outside of Lord Farquaad's house? They're like, Duloc is the perfect... Like, the things they're dancing and singing
And he has, like, a giant head?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The one with a giant head. I got specific. You can see how much I love Shrek.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you definitely... How many times do you think you've watched Shrek?
Oh, like, I'd have to count.
Realistically.
Holy... Like,
just a ballpark.
Like, in my whole entire life.
Yes.
Okay, so Shrek came out in 2001. Mm-hmm. And I was 4 then. So, like... I didn't watch Shrek first until I was, like, maybe 9. Okay, sorry, I don't need to do the math this way. I love Shrek so much. Like, the fact that I'm having to do so much math, like...
Over 100?
Over 100 times,
Okay.
Easily, yeah. Maybe even over 200.
Okay, that's fair. I've seen Home Alone so many times, too, so it's,
I feel like that's...
Is it like you're not in a... It's like my super happy movie. It's my, like, when I'm reminiscing movie. It's my sad movie. It's
just like my
Home Alone is just that. Is that what Shrek is for you?
Yeah, like on in the back. Like I have such positive memories associated with the movie. One, I think it's funny. Like that is just like my type of humor. And it's a good story.
Good music.
And yeah, good music, good characters, great, like, you know, it's 2001, but like for what it was, great cinematography, great, like it's visually appealing to look at. And it's just like, it feels like I'm eating warm soup. Like I feel like I'm like...
It's good for kids and adults.
It is.
You know?
That's the best. And like, again, like sometimes I watch Shrek 2 back to back twice. Like I don't even take a Shrek break in the middle. Like I love Shrek 2 that much sometimes. Yeah, no, I'm really, you can see that I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's just on in the background and it's just like me like self-soothing myself and like I'm not even watching it. Like I just have it like playing on the TV and I'm like doing something else.
Okay.
Like cleaning or like whatever.
No, I get that. I
Yeah.
have things like that. All right. The passion for sure. So wait, you said Lord Farquaad was on a different list. You didn't mention him. What
Let's
list
do
is he on?
superheroes, baby.
Oh my god. Okay.
Number 1, Violet Incredible. She can just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, I would love that. Like, some days, like, to just be like, oh, not here. Like, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like, no one can see you. No, you don't have to talk to anybody. Nobody, like, I'm a very social person and I love people, but sometimes I'm just like, I just want to, like...
It's a very villainy power, I feel like. Though.
Yeah, I would only use it for good. Like, I would use it to, like, you know, like, help people... get back at their shitty ex-boyfriends, or like I would like you know do nice things for people. Like I would not use it for evil. Like
I would.
I'd be giving free flowers.
I don't
to
know
people,
if I would. If I was invisible, I would definitely do things that were illegal.
You would. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
I wouldn't
really
even
steal. I would cut lines.
Like one of the first things I would do would be like
steal?
rob a bunch of money from somewhere.
Really?
Or like just something along those lines. Like I'm invisible. I'd go steal like I don't know, something worth a lot of money, like, and just disappear. Like my dream
And just take it.
is like if, okay, say I blew up and just like became like fucking the next whoever giant comedian, your favorite comedian, you know? I would retire probably fairly early and just, I don't know. Would you want to be... I haven't really... Now that I'm talking about it, it's like, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't give up stand-up. But, like, I get why, like, certain people just disappear for years. You know, when you don't hear from them. I get why Chappelle disappeared. I get why a lot of people just are like, no, I don't want the fame right now. Like, I just want to be a normal person. I'm going somewhere where I'm going to be treated normal.
I totally get that. Well, and, like, you have to remember, too, like, I imagine when you're, like, at that level that, like, there's probably so much pressure to like continually be the best of the best, you know, like, and not that like Chappelle, like all like you're, you know, whoever you think the most skilled comedian is, like, it's not that they're not still putting, like, they're not talented enough, but it's like I've heard these guys on podcasts talk about how there's like pressure to like constantly be doing like good quality work, and like you just simply can't do that all the time. Like, you know, you have like your creative lulls and stuff. I don't know. That's just at least for me. Maybe there's people who just like get super stoned and write a full hour special. I don't know, but
I don't know. I don't know if I've met anybody that is that person yet. You know, but they might exist.
Who knows? Yeah.
All right, what are we doing?
Superheroes. Violet Incredible, number 1.
Yes, great movie, great character.
You would steal. I would help people get back at their shitty exes.
All right.
Cool. That's invisible. Coming in at number 2, the sexy, the handsome Lord Farquaad.
Superhero.
Yeah, I think he's a superhero.
Okay.
And I'm prepared to make a strong argument for that case.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine. You could have said, like, your underwear.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, thank you for holding together all these weeks, you know? Like,
that's,
you know, whatever, I don't care.
It. Okay. Yeah, I think Lord Farquaad is a very talented superhero.
And I didn't mean to say, like, you should be, like, never mind. All right, go on.
Okay, number 2, Spider-Man. Mostly just because he's sexy.
Okay, who's the sexiest Spider-Man, though?
The one in...
Garfield, right?
Yes. Yeah, that man. Right. Yes, very attractive man. Number 4, Superman, because he's sexy. And number 5, Captain Underpants.
Okay,
also sexy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like those.
Yeah, okay. Hit me with your superheroes.
Batman. Number 1, Ninja Turtles. Number 2.
All the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I've been...
Collectively?
Yeah.
And, okay, why are Ninja Turtles superheroes for you?
I mean, they're mutant turtles that fight crime.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. They just seem to fit that mold. Like,
they're
they're
very cool.
comic book characters for me, you know? Like, a lot of them I just consider. And, yeah, like, I put... them all. I didn't always do this for the longest time. The very first episode I did with Jam Easy, he was like, you can't put them all in one spot. So for the longest time, I was like, I just skipped the Turtles. But like in reality, what got me into like the whole comic book, like this superhero universe, was Batman, Ninja Turtles, and Spider-Man. So I have to put them in there. But Raphael would be my favorite of the Ninja Turtles.
Very cool.
Then I'm going Red Hood, Arsenal, and Spider-Man to clear out my top 5.
There you go.
Chip flavors.
Okay, I'm a big fan of chips.
I am too. I've done favorite chips, but I did it with actually Brennan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then chip flavors, I kind of went a little different. I'm not trying to stick to specific brands, so, you know, there's a couple that are different, but I guess I'll start off.
Yeah.
Number 1, sour cream and onion.
Mm.
Just my favorite. Generally, most chip brands are decent. Actually, President's Choice has one of the best sour cream and onions chips in the game.
Ruffles or like?
I think they're kettled.
Oh,
kettle chips.
Yeah.
So yeah, sour cream
Excellent
and
choice.
onion. And then I'm going jalapeno, or sometimes jalapeno and cheddar.
Oh yeah.
You know, whatever.
Then
Then I'm gonna go dill pickle. And then this one isn't really. This is like it's not one you see all the time. It used to be. There used to be fucking. I think it was Old Dutch that had these taco chips.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not like big on like corn chips or anything, but yeah, taco flavor. I think those are my number 4, and then sour cream and bacon.
Oh, nice. Okay, it seems like you like the ones that are like the sour cream based ones. Like you got 2 sour cream ones on there.
Yeah, I'm sure taco
which I'm
has some
sour cream kind of stuff.
Sure.
Like that's such a good flavor. That's like, and especially there's a big difference between like kettle cooked chips and just like regular chips. You know, like I think probably like a 5,000 calorie difference, but like.
Oh yeah,
you know,
is there really like that much?
I have no idea. I pulled that out of my ass. I just figure there's no way kettle chips can come in a bag and be that greasy and taste that delicious and be like at all healthy for you.
Yeah.
But I love them so much.
I know.
I respect all your flavor choices. Right. I really do. Yeah. I'm gonna have to also find these taco ones. I've never heard of that, and I would be excited to try. But okay, so mine coming in at number 1 are the kettle cooked chips that are the salt and pepper flavor.
Okay.
Just like very classic, very simple. But like the pepper is like a little spicy, and like the ones that have like lime in it as well.
Oh, I was gonna say I've had the lime ones.
Yeah. Excuse me. Number 2, salt and vinegar kettle like Miss Vicky's. Like
Miss
those
Vicky's,
ones.
yeah.
So good. I literally did this again about the chips. This is so. Who am I? Why? Like I did this again. I have a problem.
She's on a roll, people. She's on a roll.
I've never done that before in my life, and I sat down on this couch. And
this is the Lord telling you that you need to go surfing. This is a surfing thing. I'm pretty sure.
What
no,
am I trying to
or did
be
you do
cool?
this?
If my thumbs were out.
I'll review the footage.
It's
okay.
I'm gonna sit on my hands for the rest. Okay, no. And then number 3, plain. I just like a plain classic. Like I'm boring, okay, but then I pick it back up at the end.
Do you do like plain with dip?
Sometimes I don't really. I'm not a huge fan of dip with chips, to be honest.
Okay.
But like just like original Miss Vicky's.
Okay,
really yeah.
Miss Vicky's is the best.
Yeah. I'm not really a big fan of like original like Lay's. Like unless you're having them on the side with like a sandwich or something, then it's perfect. But like I don't think I would like just eat those straight up. Original Ruffles, those are pretty good. But oddly enough, Lay's lightly salted I actually like better than like original Lay's.
Lay's regular are so salty though.
They are
crazy.
They hurt the corners of my mouth.
They do. You
so
can only eat like 10 of them. And
yeah. Okay. So people of the future watching this, we're complaining that chips hurt our mouth because there's so much salt in them. Wow, that's great.
Hey.
Okay.
Whatever.
My fourth chip flavor. Is Miss Vicky's spicy dill pickle.
Ooh, those are good.
Those are really good. The reason why they're not higher on my list is because around this time last year, I ate, like, those are the only chips I ate for like 5 months.
Did you go to Costco?
Like, yeah. Oh, my parents did, and they like kept like giving me bags of it, or I would go hang out with them, and they just like open a full bag, and we're like, oh my gosh, why did you do this? Like,
I know.
But they're so good, and the reason why they're not higher on my list is because I like
killed them off for a bit.
Just, oh my gosh, but it was like those things are not good for your stomach at all. Like I was getting like such gut issues from eating them, and then I had to stop. But I do love them, and I like them. Like now I have to like water them down. Like I have to mix the spicy dill pickles in with some like original. Just so it's like...
That's hilarious. Water them down. I love that. I never heard that before. That's awesome. Hey, you gotta do it something else. Worth it.
Yeah.
It's like that alcoholic who's like trying to cut himself off, so he like drinks those 0.5s. You know, or
yeah, weaning myself off spicy dickle. Spicy dickle. Edible. Just hit what?
Hate it.
But okay, I'm glad thank you for accepting me and my very aggressive chip eating habits. Chips are like my favorite snack. I love them so much. Okay, and then fifth and finally is like cheddar.
Okay. How do you feel about like Cheetos?
Oh, love Cheetos.
Yeah.
Jalapeno Cheetos, my favorite, followed by Flaming Hot, and then probably original.
Here's the thing. Okay, so like for a while I didn't eat Cheetos.
Really?
Like I just and I'm gonna be honest, I still feel weird about the orange, but like I go to Costco and like we got like this giant bag of them, and I just kind of fell back in love with Cheetos.
Cool.
I still haven't tried the Flamin' Hots though. I've had the jalapeno ones; those are really good.
Yeah.
I do like spicy stuff. It's not like I'm avoiding the Flaming Hots. I'll try it at some point. Sure.
Yeah. Very cool.
But like now, like you're 24, enjoy that shit, man. Like I love eating spicy stuff. It's just not the same, yo. I don't know if it's just because of my age or it's like something's wrong with me, but like it's not the same.
Like I mean, that cannot be good for you.
I can eat it.
Not like
I can eat it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm not. These are not things that I eat and then wake up. That's why I watered down the spicy dill, man, because it like I still get the flavor, but like I don't ruin my gut. Like that's what Lay's chips are for. Yo, Lay's chips. You guys should take this, and this is how you're gonna rebrand original chips. Use it as chip chase. That's what we're gonna call it.
They should do something like that.
Yeah. Okay. This is.
Have you ever tried that like super spicy, that like one chip thing? And it's like supposed to be like the spiciest chip in the world, and it's like it was like a challenge like a few years ago.
No.
They're like $50 each. I wanted to do it on here, but like I can't justify paying like $100 for 2 chips.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But I hear they're intense. I tried the hot ones, the spiciest sauce on hot ones.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Last Dab Redux or whatever it's called.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. You want to do books?
Yeah.
All right. You want to start?
Sure. Okay. Coming in at number 1. I made a TikTok about this the other day, but I think this is my favorite book. This is the Keeping Care of You book that every girl who was born between 1990 and 2000 received instead of a puberty or sex ed conversation from their parents.
Keeping Care of You?
It's called Keeping Care of You. And that I no longer have this book, but it was probably the most influential book I've ever read. It basically taught me everything about how to do everything as a woman.
Okay, that's that's helpful.
Yep.
I don't know how I learned things. I just think like it was like a sprinkle from a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You know?
Trial and error as well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of that, yeah.
That's number one. But it was also just like the first like time like anything ever explained like what was going to be happening to my body to me, like before I like went through puberty.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just was like, what the fuck? And like so it was like one of those things, and I really was like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't believe that there was like a book about like all of this. Like I think that was like the first book that I read that I was like, holy crap, I actually have to get to the end of this. Like,
was there any pictures?
Oh yeah, there were lots of pictures. Yeah, like I remember there's like a picture where it's like it shows you the stages of like how your like breasts are gonna develop. And I would, like, always go into the bathroom and be like, which one am I at yet? Am I at, like, like, you know, and I still hope I'm not there yet, but, you know, this is what we got. But, and there's, like, other ones, like, showing you how to insert a tampon. There's, like, other ones showing you that, like, you know, this is how you shave your armpits.
It's like the woman's Bible.
Like,
it's the
yes,
Bible
it was
of
such
femininity.
a good book. Yeah, and it, like, also talks about, like, I mean, it's probably outdated by today's standards, but, like, exercise and nutrition and taking care of your mental health. Like, it was, like, just talking about just, like, health and, like, wellness. And, I don't know, we could probably critique that book now.
I imagine
don't know,
if it was
but, like,
such like a, it seems
like
like such a help, they would probably have an updated version.
Oh, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yes. If the writers are listening, I'll collab with you. Very influential book. Thank you for letting me ramble about it. Number 2, Eat, Pray, Love. Number 3, Codependent No More. Number 4, More Myself, which is a memoir, I guess, kind of thing written by Alicia Keys. Mm-hmm. And number 5, Skunks Go to Bed.
Skunks Go to Bed. What is that?
Skunks Go to Bed was a like children's book written in like the early 90s.
Okay.
That was just like about these 3 skunks that refused to go to bed, and like everybody in the town was like telling them to go to bed. And my dad always read it to us because I'm a triplet. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
Yeah. Now you're just finding out like an hour and a half into the episode that I'm a triplet.
Are you lying?
I'm not lying.
You're Hilary, right?
I am Hilary, yes.
Okay. For real though, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The funniest one though.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? My brother and my sister are both really funny, like in their own ways. Like my brother, he has like such a like sharp, quick wit, but he's like not loud about it. And so like I love sitting beside him at like family events because like he's such a shady little like bitch too, because like somebody will say something that he like deeply disagrees with or is like so offside, or like someone says something really bitchy in the corner, and like my brother would just be like, and he'll just say something that's like so quick but like so jarring and funny, that's like the perfect amount of like sass but like humor. Like he's just like not like he's judging people. Anyways, this makes my family sound toxic, but like he has really it's not like family events, but it's also like just like being out in public and stuff too. Like he's just like a really funny person, like but quietly. And my sister is also just like really funny in her own way too. Like she's always like like she does this thing where she'll like she sings and like she doesn't know it, but she's being like, it used to like really annoy me, but she's like creating a full like performance, and like she's just like, yeah, she's really funny, and she'll like play jokes on people as well and like prank them with like leaving like little like stuff like in certain places and just being like, oh, I like oopsies. Like my dad like makes her do like little like pranks with them too. My dad's a huge prankster. That's where I get my humor from.
Nice.
But
yeah, you make me feel bad because I didn't put any books from my childhood now.
Oh no! Oh well, you can get that bonus one. What are your favorite books?
All right, I'm into a lot of like nonfiction.
Oh, love that.
Like and like comedy stuff. Life After Death by Damien Eccles, which is so Damien Eccles was part of the West Memphis 3. I don't know if you've heard of them, but there was like these 3 teenage boys that all were like, they dressed in like dark clothing and they all hung out together. They were accused of murdering like this young boy, and there was one who was like considered the ringleader, Damien Eccles, who was like put on like death row. And then like, I mean, there was literally no evidence, and so there was like a bunch of documentaries released. And then Peter Jackson, he released one himself. If anything, check that one out. It's called West of Memphis. And then I don't know if it was before that movie or just after, but around that movie coming out, all three of the guys were released. And so he wrote this book just basically, it was life after death, literal meaning, like him getting off death row and like speaking about like his struggle of being like wrongly accused and stuff like that.
What's the
It's
name of that
fucking
one
the book or
What's the name of the book? Yeah.
Life After Death.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, he wrote it too. He's an oddball, but like he's an intellectual, like yeah.
That sounds like a really interesting perspective to get.
It is.
Yeah.
Then Have a Nice Day, which is it autobiography when someone writes a book about themselves? Is that what it is, or what is that?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. I want to say it's about his life. It's a wrestler that I love, and it's just about growing up in the wrestling business and injuries and stuff like that. And then The Alphabet of Manliness by Maddox, which is just like a joke kind of book. W is like wrestling and shit like that. It's just really, what's the word? Like, it's satire. I don't know. He's really funny. He also has another book that's called I Am Better Than Your Kids, where he like
what a title!
He critiques kids' art, like they're actual artists. Like he ignores that they were like 30-year-old professionals. So it's super harsh, and it's just it's really funny stuff. And then It's True, it's another wrestler's book, Kurt Angle. And then The Grand Design by Stephen Hawking. That one's very interesting book, and I love it, but there's still, like, even while I was reading it, like, I was going back, sometimes reading entire pages, just to kind of grasp what he was talking about. And then there's still some things I don't fully understand, but the stuff I understand I loved, and like I still I feel like eventually I'll go back, I'll read it again, and I'll maybe understand some more. But yeah, that's my top 5.
Cool. What do you like about wrestling?
It's like athletic Shakespeare, man. Like as a person who's like in theater, it's like, or who I guess you were in theater and stuff like that. It's just, you're on stage and you're pantomiming, driving a car. Like what shouldn't be in the person watching's head is like, that's not a real car. Like you should, what are you going to yell at? Oh, that's not a real car, loser, or whatever. It's like, for me, it's just about, it's a performance. It's like any other thing. I enjoy the characters when they're done well. Like, not every wrestler's good, There's, like, a small, maybe, like, 25% of wrestlers are, like, really good. But, I mean, when it's done well, it's like they're telling a story within, say, like, 15 to, 30 minutes without any words. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, there are a lot of, like, and it's part of it, like, when you have Ronda Rousey, you get a lot of like UFC fighters going to wrestling, towards the end of their careers or whatever. And like Ronda Rousey's obviously an incredible athlete, and so she comes at it like with that experience, but what she doesn't have is like the acting background. Like you need to be equal parts an athlete and equal parts actor, and I just enjoy anything, even if it's nothing. Like I went to see Anne of Green Gables like 2 years ago, just cause like I've seen Les Mis, I've seen like a few things, Evil Dead, like I go to music, like I'm whatever, like it's all, I just enjoy performance art in all of its glory, you know? And I'm excited to be a part of that world.
That's cool. I've never thought about wrestling as performance before.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Like, yeah, sweet.
I love UFC. Like I've, Muay Thai, I've done some other things. I did a little bit of boxing. But I still like wrestling. I don't watch UFC and wrestling for the same reason. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I think a lot of people that are outsiders, they think. It's like, well, like he's not really punching. It's like, well, I don't think anybody actually thinks he's punching, especially now with the internet. Maybe back in like the 90s when I was like single digits, a lot of people, like younger people maybe believe. But with the internet, even people in their single digits know what wrestling is, and they just,
Yeah. Cool. That's a cool perspective. I've never thought about wrestling in that way, so that's like a cool,
Yeah, it's sweet.
Sweet.
All right, and we're gonna finish off with Justin Timberlake songs. Yes. Now, let me ask. I'll start off, but I want to ask you: did you include any NSYNC songs?
I did not.
You did not. I did not either.
Yeah.
I felt like it was wrong.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's yeah. I agree. Thank you. We had that shared understanding.
Yeah. Okay. I did do. Okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. Can't Stop the Feeling is my number one.
Oh yeah,
from
nice.
Trolls. I fucking like that's like just a song. I'm admittedly not a huge Justin Timberlake fan, but there's like a couple handfuls of songs, like a good maybe 10 songs that I like, the more dancey ones.
Yeah.
And that one is just if I'm in like Walmart and that comes on, I like start dancing and shit.
I feel this exact same way. Like Justin Timberlake isn't like something that I actively put on, but like when you said Justin Timberlake, I was like, fuck yeah, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I could come up with 5.
Yeah, like I downloaded like a Justin Timberlake playlist on my phone like this morning, and I was like listening to Justin Timberlake all day, being like, yeah, like I'm so glad.
Dude, I gotta come up with 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Now. Yeah,
like I gotta narrow it down.
All right, yeah. So that's my number 1. My number 2 is not a Justin Timberlake song.
Okay.
It's Dead and Gone with T.I. But like I really love that song, and I think like. I always try to hit his parts, and I'm not a great singer, but like I did sing for some bands, so like there's some certain songs that I can hit. Like Dick in a Box is my go-to karaoke song.
Love it.
And like I do the stuff that Timberlake does, and I can hit the stuff in that song.
Dick in a Box would be your
right?
go-to.
But like, oh, it's so fun though. But like in this, his part is just so. It might seem like it's easy to sing. Like the chorus part, I don't know if he does like a bridge part, but he definitely like he has the best part of the song. And like it's just so hard to sing, and I try to do it all the time. My voice cracks every time. I'm not gonna do it right now. I was thinking about it, but yeah. So that's my number 2, Dead and Gone. My Love's number 3. Like I Love You. It's number 4. That was I think the very first song he released.
Oh.
And he was like in front of like a 7-Eleven.
Oh.
You remember that one?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I'm going Senorita.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, solid. We've got some similarities.
Okay.
My number 1 is Sexy Back.
All right.
I feel like that's just like a fun like that's actually on my workout playlist.
Okay.
Like I like it's fun like number 2, Rock Your Body. Rock Your Body.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't need to do that. I just really like the song.
It's okay. You could sing more if you want.
Number 3 is Can't Stop the Feeling.
Yeah.
Number 4, also Dead and Gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was like, I don't know, I have so many memories watching that on Much Music for some reason when I was like 12 years old. Like, I feel like every time my brother and I watched, like, Much Music Countdown, like, Dead and Gone, like, the music video, and, like, it was, like, him and, like, is it T.I.? And, like, they're, like, there's, like, stuff blowing up in the background and stuff. Like, do you remember that music video?
Yeah, I do. Of course I do,
yeah. And I just, like, have such vivid memories of that. And, like, also, like, I was listening to that song on the subway here, and, like, it's a fucking fire song. Like,
it's a good song.
It is, like, I had a great time listening to it. And then number 5, Mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But, like, yo, Dead and Gone.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm glad that that was on your list, too. I was like, is she going to accept it? Am I going to have to come up with...
No, I wouldn't do that to you. Yeah, it's a great song. It's a great song.
All right.
Sweet.
Let's end with a little bit of topics. You pick one, I'll pick one. Okay. I'll go first, I guess.
Okay.
Do you have a long attention span? Do you get bored easily?
Yes, I do get bored easily, I think. Yeah.
Is this new, or has this always been like in
no,
school? You like that too?
I think that's always been the case. I like to start things rather than finish them. Like, I don't always have like good follow through, and so like I'm like really trying to be intentional now about like, you know, it's always fun to like think about like, oh, I want to do this new thing, but it's like, wait, you already have a lot to do right now. Like, just focus on this. Like, you know, I have like issues with like setting.
And then you're
limits
juggling like a bunch of things,
procrastinating
on all of them.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with like, you know, like dating too. Like, I get bored of people. Like, it's like, it's bad. Like, it's like, Anyways, yeah, that's maybe not a nice thing to end on, but yeah, no, I feel like, but I wouldn't call it like attention span. I think it's more just like, I like variety, but like, I can like sit here and like read a book for like an hour. Like I have attention span, but I just like,
well, I like maybe it comes down to maybe just about like being worth the attention. It's like things that you find worth the attention.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're like, oh, I just don't,
well,
I don't
like,
care.
yeah, and like we both have found like comedy, right, to like obsess over. Like that's like something that you're just like, okay, sweet, like.
Yeah, it definitely takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Okay. Have you ever seen an unexplained object in the sky?
I wish, man. I wish. I've seen like a meteor shower before.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Where
when
were
I was
you when you
living
saw
in
that?
BC
Oh,
on Vancouver
cool.
Island.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And I always thought it was weird that it was like early in the week they're like, oh, there's gonna be a meteor shower.
Oh.
I'm like, we're living in a fucking simulation. How do they know? Like, it's just wild. I mean, I'm not actually saying. I mean, we could be living in a simulation. That's not exactly. I'm not fully believing in that. But like, how do they know? It's just wild. And then so we just we're staring up at the sky. And it's like, oh, it's supposed to happen at 9:10, fucking 5 minutes of just stars.
Yeah.
And it was just wild.
That's really cool.
Yeah. All right.
That's a sweet thing.
How important is punctuality to you, and are you usually on time?
I'm not gonna lie, punctuality is like not super important.
Not including today.
No, I was. Well, I told you like earlier this afternoon that I was gonna.
It doesn't even matter though. But... Like the thing is, like you could have like obviously the earlier the better, but like it's just time. I have my day off. It's not like I'm your boss. I'm just. It's all good. Yeah. There's no real time you had to be here. That's what I'm trying to say. It's no biggie.
Well, it's like I feel like for me when it's like more like like if it's like stuff related to like work or like business or like even like stand up, like I usually try to be like really like punctual because that's stuff where I'm like, okay, that matters. But like if I'm just like meeting up with a friend or something, like most people, like my friend Jessie Olsen, she's another comic, a funny lady, shout out. She like texted me, she's like, okay, so you said 8:30, but should I be there for 8:45 to adjust for Hilary time? Like she sent me that like in a text one time when we were meeting up, and I you have to adjust for Hilary time. I'm not a very punctual person.
Yeah, I would say for me it's just really about, again, importance. I'm even at the point where it's like, okay, if I get up maybe an hour and 45 minutes before I actually start work, and I give myself enough time to get there on time. But I recently started getting up just a little later, and I get there maybe like 2 minutes after I'm supposed to be there, and I'm just like, 2 minutes, I don't care, And it's like, so I don't know. I feel like most of the time it is, again, with shows and stuff, I agree with you. But like for work, for me, I'm even like... I try to be on there, there on time, but it's not like, I'm not running anymore. There was a time where I'd be like, oh no, I'm late for work. Yeah. If I got off the bus, I would just run to wherever I was going, and I'm not doing that anymore.
No. Oh, fair. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I also feel like most people are like decently understanding too, that it's like, if you're like 2 minutes, like,
Yeah, a couple minutes is just a couple minutes.
Yeah,
like, even if anything, I'll stay the couple minutes later. Like,
totally.
That's a lot of like my argument is too. It's like, okay, like I'll stay till whenever, most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Relax, guys.
I mean, there's like, I don't know how it is with like what you do, but like I know there's certain jobs where like, if maybe you're like a doctor or something, that's maybe not a good idea to like show up 2 minutes late all the time.
I could definitely see professions where like punctuality is more.
Like, yeah. But
No, not me. Like I'm like, sometimes I even work by myself. There's only like 2 chefs where I work, and some days it's just me. So it's like, I don't know. Usually when I'm a couple minutes late, no one really notices anyway. So
yeah. Right on.
Yeah, man.
How does your mood affect the music you choose?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay. A lot, I feel like. Anger generally is like, you know, more aggressive hip hop or like heavy metal. You know, just something angry, I guess. Definitely, I think it's just, it's almost all the time. Like, I wouldn't say all the time, because sometimes I'll get up in the morning and to like hype myself up, I'll put on like a really heavy song or like something like that just to. But I feel like most of the time my mood really dictates what I listen to. You know, reggae or whatever. If I'm really happy, maybe pop punk or something like that. You know, so yeah, most of the time.
Cool, so it does, yeah.
You?
Yeah, cool. I would say I don't really find music to match my moods, like, often. Well, it depends. Like, I do have playlists for different moods. Like, I have a workout kind of playlist. I have some more, like, upbeat playlists, some more, like, chill playlists. Like, I have a playlist just for, like, yoga and, like stretching, kind of. That's, like, a bit slower. So I do have, like, I do organize my music by, like, mood. But I will sometimes also use music as a tool. Like, if I'm waking up and, like, feeling, like, a bit depressed, like, in that morning, I'll, like, put on, like, a happy song. And, like, I'll force myself to, like... I love to dance, just, like, alone in my room or, like, in my apartment, living room or whatever. And, like, even if I can't force myself to dance, like, I swear this, like, if you have depression, like, this will change your life. Like, just put on a song you like and just start jumping. Like, even if all you can do is just, like, move, or even if just, like, waving your arms around, if all you can do is just start moving your body a little bit and listening to something you like, it's amazing. Like, by the end of one song, like, 3 minutes of doing that, like, you're gonna be like, wow, okay, you know what, I'll do one more song. And then, like, after 10 minutes of just, like, you know, moving your body a little bit and, like, getting out of your head, like, you feel so much better. Like, I swear that's, like, the secret sauce to life. That's mine anyway. It's dancing every morning, baby.
No, I totally agree. And, like, there's obviously times where, like, maybe I'll get a new album and listen to it, or like I'm just wanting to listen to a certain artist or a certain song. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, music's great that way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool. Like, I just also feel like music is such a way, or can be such a way, that doesn't not a sentence. It can be a way that people, like, use to connect. Like, when you're watching, like, a live show, like, sometimes I'll be at, like, a concert or something and I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe 2 hours went by already. You know, like, it just, like, the time, like, just, like, seems to evaporate when you're engaged in, like, a proper, like, performance and, like, with other people. It's amazing.
Fuck yeah. Favorite musician of all time before we get out of here?
I want to say Taylor Swift. I know you're gonna laugh.
I'm not gonna laugh. I'm just smiling because I was like, oh man, I can't pick 5 Taylor Swift songs.
No, that's fine. I honestly, I didn't even really understand. You were, like, asking me, like, 5 things that, like, I didn't realize that it was, like, things that, like, we were doing together. So I probably would have picked something different if I was like, oh, I don't think Paul's gonna be into Taylor Swift. But I think she's just, like, I think she's such an intelligent woman. And I think she does so much storytelling in her, like, if you listen to her lyrics, like, they're very artful, and, like, there's a lot of imagery in them, there's a lot of symbolism, and it's like, you feel like you're listening to poetry. I feel like she's very talented in that way. Not, like, her, like, all of her poppy stuff necessarily, but, like, her last few albums, like, of her newer stuff, for sure.
What do you think about Miley Cyrus?
I think Miley's cool. Yeah, I
kind of like Miley Cyrus, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I love that she's just, like, she is who she is. Like, she's just, like, I, like, think anybody that can go from, like, the confines of being, like, a Disney Channel star to, like, being like, hey, I just want to live my fucking life. Like,
well, she's just straight up talented.
And she's incredibly talented. Yeah.
You can't, like...
And she's a cool person, too. I want to be her friend.
She seems fucking cool, right?
So cool.
She does, like... I mean, a lot of... That's the thing about being famous and being in the spotlight. All these people judging. It's like, most of the people that I see talking shit about Miley Cyrus didn't make a lot of good decisions when they were her age either. They just didn't have fucking cameras following them around, you know?
True. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll get out of here. Yeah. You can let these people know where to get at you if you want.
You can find me on Instagram or on TikTok at Hilary H Comedy. And yeah, come to see me at a show. Follow me on the socials.
Do it. Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by The Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Peace the fuck out.